I want Iron Man to shave my legs. Welcome back to the Film Authority, and on this week's episode we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We've got just a couple of current event movie news items to hit up. We'll be talking about, there were a ton of trailers that have come out over the past month for pretty much the entire rest of the year's worth of movies. Like in the past, I don't know, the past month there must have been like 6 trailers alone, but we'll be reviewing 11 of them. Not in depth, but just kind of give our thoughts and impressions, things that stood out in the trailers for us. And then we will talk about the Avengers movie. All 3 of us went to go see it together because we're just, you know, that big of fanboys. We went to an 11 p.m. showing because we're such huge fans. And John was happy to come along for the ride, and, you know, just one thing that's really great about going to a movie like that is people who are right in front of you who talk through pretty much the entire movie. I enjoy that. So
well, it gives you another person's perspective on the movie.
Yeah, you know? That's a word for it.
I'm probably gonna go to it again just because that annoyed the crap out of me. But it's like I figured we'd be safe going to a midnight showing or 11 o'clock showing where people who were there would actually want to see the movie rather than talk to their boyfriend the entire time. But
no, that was pretty much like that was the only like late night showing I've ever been to where people actually were talking through the movie. That blew me away. Anyway, we digress. But
where's my cane? I need
young whippersnapper. So, if at any time, though, just look down below in the description for time codes on where you can skip ahead to different parts of the video. It'll all be down there with the exact times you need to just roll to in order to watch what you want to watch. But I'm sure you're going to stick with us for the whole thing because we're just that good. So, with that, let's talk about these trailers. So, what we're going to do with these as well is just kind of give a quick excitement rating of 1 through 10 on just how excited we are to see the movies based on these most recent trailers. And the first, we're going to go in the order in which these films will be released. And so the very first one that we will go through is Mad Max Fury Road, which comes out this week or next week. Next
Friday.
Next Friday. So it's a week from this
May
Friday.
15th.
May 15th. Mad Max Fury Road. I'm going to go first and probably be the controversial one. I am not a Mad Max fan, so I am not excited for this upon seeing the trailer, and it may be a situation where you have to be a Mad Max fan in order to appreciate this movie. I don't know. Some of the visual effects look cool.
Yeah.
I will go there. I like that there seems to be a lot more practical sets being used instead of it being a 100% CG fest, except for that dust storm.
Yeah.
Actually, it's like 90% practical. George Miller is just crazy like that,
which is nice to see. So I will say those things about it, but honestly, my excitement level to see this movie is like a 2. Like I have no plans to go see it. See, I knew it. I was going to be the controversial one. But again, it's not that I hate this movie or anything. It's just it was obviously not made for me. Like I'm not gonna go see it. So
yeah, like if you know, I mean that's actually really understandable because if you're not familiar with Mad Max, could be very off-putting. It's very like I wrote down here. I was like, looks insane because it looks insane. Like and the fact that George Miller is coming back to do this is kind of awesome, but it could be a huge backfire too. So, I mean, my excitement level is 9 out of 10 for sure because I've been a huge fan of Mad Max since back in the day. And, you know, how can you not love Beyond Thunderdome with Tina Turner?
I guess he just couldn't get Beyond Thunderdome.
Optiman! Master Blaster? Come on.
Yeah, come on. Master Blaster.
It's just not doing it for me. Wow, sorry.
Anyway,
Lord
but I'm excited. I'm excited to see this movie. what's odd is the more I kind of find out about it, it's weirdly kind of the less I'm interested to see it. I don't know, but at the same time, I'm more interested to see it. It's very weird. The fact that a lot of it's going to be really practical effects, that intrigues me, and I don't know, I'm excited to see it, so.
Cool.
Yeah. And I'm a fan of the franchise. As far as I'm concerned, the more crazy it gets, the more I like it. I mean, so I say go for the insanity. Just, crank that insanity up to 15. So, obviously, anyone who's seen these trailers knows this thing looks like Thunderdome on steroids after dropping acid. It looks insane.
See, now I might be excited to see it if Tom Hardy was going into this movie as Bane. See, because that would be that would just make it so much better. No, I'm kidding.
No,
we're not gonna talk about Bane. No.
Hello, Batman.
No, we can hear you too clearly there.
Hello, Tina Turner.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, as far as me excitement-wise, it's hard to really say it because obviously they're rebooting the franchise, and that I always am kind of.
I think I'm more excited about the fact that it doesn't seem like it's not a remake but a reboot. I would much rather have them do a reboot or continue the story. Although I don't even really think that's what it is. It's just a complete.
Yeah, they're just starting over.
Yeah,
I understand.
I mean, so at least they have George Miller, and it's an original idea to a point.
Yeah.
It's so that has me excited.
Yeah. All things considered, with George Miller and everyone coming back, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10 as far as excitement goes.
So I think Ben and I are in the same boat on this one, and James is
I'm the odd man out.
Up the creek without a paddle.
For once, I'm the one who has a popular opinion. It's weird.
You guys never agree on anything, really.
Yeah, we're kind of diametrically opposed on a lot of things. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yes.
Well, except for that.
Yeah, you heard us before Avengers talking about films. Yeah. I mean, in one of those we'll talk about here.
I'm not going to be as impassioned about that when we bring that one up, though. I promise. I promise. I'm not going to... But moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Poltergeist, the remake. Can I say 0 on a scale of 1 to 10 about how excited I am for this thing?
It's just, I don't know, go for it.
Okay, my opinion is this. I have no beef that they're remaking this. Like, I have no problem with really any remake. I'm not of the opinion that there are certain movies that just can't be remade or anything, so that's not where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
I think any franchise can be remade, and I'm fine with that. It's just... It's such a standard horror remake. Like, it just feels like any other horror remake that I've ever seen. Like, it goes through the same basic beats, and it does the stupid references, but then tries to do the new twist.
Yeah. And you can tell that from the trailer, which is, it's just going to be more ridiculous.
Yeah. They're here, and then, oh, look at that, I get it, because, we're referencing the original, and then where they kind of basically rip off the Paranormal Activity by someone being dragged up the stairs, like by an invisible force. I was reminded of Paranormal Activity right off the bat. And then where they try to make clowns scary with a very not scary clown doll.
Well, that wasn't the original, though.
Yeah. But still, come on,
The biggest thing that I wrote down for this was why? Why? Who cares? Like, I just don't get it. And Sam Rockwell, what is wrong with you? Like, I have so much respect for that guy, and he generally makes pretty good decisions.
He needs to fire his agent, apparently.
I just don't. The paycheck must have been really good or something, and Sam Raimi has a part of it too. Yeah. So it's like those aspects make me think, okay, maybe this will really surprise me, but. No, it's just why. The whole thing is a why, and I'm like at a 2 or a 3 as far as wanting to see this movie.
And I'll go with you there. I think the only reason, and I'm kind of on the same wavelength with why too. Seeing how they're making this remake, why? If it's so paint by numbers, why would you do that?
Yeah, it's like the shot by shot remake of
Psycho.
It seems like it anyway.
It doesn't look that bad.
No,
let's be honest.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
That's a little harsh.
I just don't get
it. And this Vince Vaughn shows up in this one. But with me, I'm probably the least down on this movie, even though I'm not exactly looking forward to it. I mean, it looks like you'd expect it to, really.
Yeah.
Doesn't look unwatchable. But if that's the best thing I can say about it, I guess that's...
Ringing endorsement! It's not unwatchable!
It doesn't look terrible. Looks like
it might be okay!
I might want to watch it without trying to kill myself. No, it's very cookie cutter, very just whatever. It seems like an...
It's safe for a horror movie.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like it.
I guess if I were to give it a rating... 4? Yeah. Arbitrary rating.
So around at best a 4 between the three of us, which is not a ringing endorsement. No. Comes out May 22nd, by the way. For those of you who probably want to be dumb enough to see it,
at least it's going to be better than the sequels to Poltergeist.
That's a really low bar. I think you're setting the bar.
At least I'm setting a bar, okay? Give me some credit. I'm setting a bar for this movie.
That's true. So now we get into the 90s called and they want their movies back territory.
Roland Emmerich called and he wants 2012 back territory.
Yeah, San Andreas. Wow. I'm going to put this at a 3.5 out of 10.
Oh,
and I'm being generous.
That's being generous.
With a 3.5. and only because, I will say this, in the trailer itself, The Rock seems to be giving probably one of his better performances. and it's a really strong performance, I think. As far as what I'm seeing in the trailer from him, I'm actually impressed that he's progressed that far as an actor. So I will give it that. Other than that, though, this is a movie that is straight out of the 90s, a Roland Emmerich disaster movie.
Harkens back to those two volcano movies. Volcano, and then Dante's Peak.
Yes, Dante's Peak. Yes, exactly. You get Twister. Any of those old disaster movies. It just harkens back, and they were horrible. America, just remember that they were terrible.
But they didn't have The Rock in them. Maybe that's the missing ingredient.
Maybe
you would have loved Dante's Peak had The Rock been in it rather than 007. Pierce Brosnan.
I love this trailer because even the trailer is very Spielbergian 90s style, people looking at stuff. There are so many shots of just people staring off into the distance at stuff in this trailer that it's amazing. I mean, just go and watch this trailer and just count how many times people are just staring off in the distance at stuff.
Look at that!
It's amazing. And another thing about this movie is that, well, it implies that this is like a worldwide earthquake that's going to crack the world apart.
Yeah.
It's set in California. I don't know. We're in the upper Midwest here. We don't deal with earthquakes. This movie doesn't seem scary to me in the least.
I don't know.
The only good thing about it is at least it looks like Hollywood's going to get destroyed. So, maybe there is a shining light there.
How can we love and hate something so much at the same time?
I know, right? We're getting deep here, man.
Just like The Rock. He's developing into
a deeper
fine young man.
We're bringing it together. But yeah, 3.5, and that's me being pretty generous with this. Take it away, guys.
I'm at a 1. It's 2012. It's 2012.
It is.
It's the same thing, except throw The Rock in there instead of John Cusack, which wow, don't even get me started on that John Cusack, dude. What's wrong with you? But once again, Sam Rockwell, John Cusack.
You're calling out a lot of people today.
I'm gonna get a lot of calls.
It's John's time to vent.
Get a lot of calls from my agent.
Wait, you have an agent?
Who doesn't exist. But no, yeah, I'm not like a 1. It's just I saw it and I was like, this movie is gonna make a buttload of money because people are gonna go see it.
They're gonna.
But it's just one of those things. It's gonna be in the theater for a month, and then you're never gonna hear about it again. But it's gonna make a buttload of money. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, my thoughts don't really differ. Looks like 2012 with The Rock. Which is at least an
That's
upgrade.
that's what the title should be.
Yeah.
2012 with The Rock.
2012, The Rock edition.
The Rock edition. Back to the beach.
I mean, so he at least earned it a couple points, I figure, because I like The Rock. I mean, he made the Fast and Furious movies watchable.
He did.
Which is saying something.
Which is very good.
Unless he whipped out a Gatling gun at any point in this movie to gun down a helicopter, I can't foresee it ever reaching those ever so illustrious heights.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wow. Okay. Well,
We're starting off real well here.
Well, Mad Max.
Mad Max.
You two are excited for Mad Max, so that was good. So yeah, San Andreas comes out on May 29th for any of you who want to take a trip back to the 1990s. Speaking of the 1990s, let's go to our next film, Jurassic World.
Nice segue.
So, again, 0 out of 10.
Really?
Really?
That's
cannot stand.
I mean, after hearing my last statement, you might know what I think of this movie, but yeah.
I can't stand this film. There is nothing redeemable about Jurassic World, in my opinion.
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing is in here that I like. The thing that completely jumped the shark for me is the Velociraptor Whisperer.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
I cannot begin to describe to you how stupid that is, and how stupid this movie company must think we are to buy that.
Wow.
But they're totally going to explain it, James. It's going to make perfect sense in the movie.
Trust me. It's worse than the Alan in Jurassic Park 3. And if you haven't seen Jurassic Park 3, go and watch it. You'll know what I'm talking about.
Wow.
I'm telling you, that is horrible. That is so incredibly unrealistic, I can't even begin to tell you how bad that is.
I have something like that, yeah.
And it wouldn't be, I wouldn't harp on this as much if this was, I don't know, the only segment of the movies where you see him doing it quick. But you know it's a major part of the film because then they show in the trailer later on he's on a dirt bike riding along with the Velociraptors, man. He's gonna direct him into action, just terrible. And then
so you don't like it, in other words?
Yeah, let me elaborate a little bit more. And then the big bad dinosaur is basically a knockoff of the dinosaur from Jurassic Park 3. And we've got the ultra smart dinosaur. But now he's like a T-Rex, but he's got longer arms and he's smart. So, that's pretty cool, guys.
That's the perfect dinosaur.
Wow, it's great. He's got longer arms. It's so lazy to me. It's just so lazy. I don't. And then when you just talk about the visual effects. I think the visual effects in this movie look worse than the first Jurassic Park film. Just go back and take a look.
To be fair, a lot of movies do now.
But still, I'm just going to say it. If you're doing Jurassic Park, you have no excuse for your effects to look worse in the fourth film of the franchise as compared to your first, okay? Other movies, you may be able to get away with that, but I'm going to hold Jurassic Park to the standard of the first film. And I'm sorry, we're 20 years in the future from the first film, and yet the dinosaurs look worse? How's that an excuse? Again, so visually I don't like it. Plot-wise, I think it's idiotic. The main bad dinosaur is the laziest writing you could possibly imagine. We'll just do a T-Rex, but he's got longer arms. Awesome. And I don't understand the market for this, because except for the nostalgia market. And if you're riding on nostalgia, be prepared to be bitterly disappointed with this film. Mark my words. You guys on YouTube can come to me right now and tell me how wrong I am, but after the film, you're going to be coming back to me apologizing, because I promise you, this film is going to be garbage. Done.
Well, maybe I can explain that once it gets to me.
There's no mic for you to drop right now. You know that, right?
There, just did it.
Wow. Actually, you make a lot of good points. As much as that rambling mess could have been made into any kind of points. Good Lord, no! Wow! No, you make sense because I had a couple of similar things written down. Like when I saw, because we had talked about this before at some point, where about the Velociraptors that he seemingly could control. I was like, what? And then I went back and watched the trailer. And I was like, oh my god, that's true. And I was like, huh. Yeah, I don't know, because, it just doesn't make any sense. So you're right, and,
we can train tigers and stuff. I mean, it doesn't make...
Yeah.
Isn't it like any other animal in the zoo?
But they make it seem like he can control these things, to the point of, come on, little buddies, let's go on my little dirt bike ride and take out the big bad guy. That's what that scene on the dirt bike is. He's not like a telepath, and that's kind of what they're almost going for. He's not a Velociraptor trainer. He's a Velociraptor whisperer. That's what I don't buy.
So, suspension of disbelief is not going far with you.
That movie jumped the shark with that part.
Star-Lord can do whatever the hell he wants to do.
Star-Lord.
I don't know.
I like Chris Pratt, by the way. Let me go on record. I'm not Chris Pratt bashing by any stretch of the imagination.
Say that 3 times fast.
I know, right?
Well, before your rant, I had a 7 out of 10. I'm still going to stay with that, but I think you're right. I think that is a little ridiculous, and I think that a really big point of this is totally nostalgia-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they just made this, if they made that movie and there was no previous Jurassic Park, I think it would be kind of cool, though. You know what I mean? So because it would be new, but I think it's a kind of catch-22.
And you know it's nostalgia based because even some of the shots in this trailer, you have 2 kids in the little vehicle and the dinosaurs coming down, they're screaming. I mean, it's just a rehash of the original, but just done much more lazily.
Yeah.
At least that's what I see in this trailer.
Wow.
All right, go ahead, Ben.
Well, I'm the most up on this movie, apparently. Surprise, surprises. Like I said,
you're wrong. No,
I said before, I like when these things just go crazy and embrace just the insanity of it. I'm okay with this genetically modified T-Rex that's half Velociraptor or something. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Chris Pratt training Velociraptors to be his special hunting buddies. They're up front with it. At least they're not trying to hide it. I like when they say, yeah, we're gonna go completely off the rails.
No, that is a point.
Deal with it.
That is a point. I should thank them for doing that up front, so I know not to waste my money. So thank you.
And I should say, I am a huge fan of the first movie. I'm a huge fan of the books. And maybe I'm kind of influenced by some of the stuff they are bringing in from the books. The genetically modified dinosaurs, that is something that is brought up multiple times in the books. That's something that the lead scientist that you see in the trailer, he's what's proposing a lot of in the books. So I like that they're bringing that in. They're acknowledging the source from the books, and they're completely ignoring the sequels to that first Jurassic Park, from what we understand. I like that. The Lost World never happened.
Mm-hmm.
Jurassic Park 3 never happened. I like that. So, with that being said, what is my excitement on this one? Solid 8.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we got different opinions. But just so
it
you
looks
guys,
fun.
just so all you out there know, the release date's June 12th, so you can issue your apology to me on June 13th. Okay? You know where to find me. I'm right here.
And I'll come right on camera the day after to tell you how wrong you are.
That's fine. I welcome differing opinions here.
One of them will be dead on June.
We'll be at each other.
After your rant, do you really embrace different opinions? I'm not so sure.
I embrace different opinions. I never said anyone couldn't have theirs.
James felt so strongly.
I just have strong opinions on it.
All the movies on this list.
Exactly, right?
I mean, we're going to get to a few here.
Well, don't trust me. You don't know how I feel in some of these films, so we could all be in the same camp here for a lot of these. Because there is a lot more bad than good on this list, in my opinion. Speaking of bad, the next movie, Terminator Genisys. Now, number one, I want to make a clarification to everyone out there on my opinion of this film. when I saw the first trailer, I was actually pretty excited for this film. The first trailer that came out, I actually thought it was an interesting take and it could be good. Mm-hmm. I actually liked the future stuff where they actually show them sending him back, because I always kind of thought, like, if I was to do a remake, I'd actually show that part. You and I discussed that like years ago, that if we ever were to remake a Terminator film, that's what we would show that part, because I think it'd be cool just to see the actual machine and explain how it actually works in detail more than what they do in the original. So I liked that, and I thought it was just kind of an interesting take on the time travel thing, kind of having fun with it, where it's like, oh, we knew you were coming because of all this other stuff, that, you know, altering the timeline and all that kind of stuff. I thought it could be fun. Now, this trailer tipped its hand a little too hard, showed a little too much.
The latest trailer.
It showed the entire plot.
It basically showed the entire plot, and it showed why I'm probably not going to go see this anymore. Because...
Not a fan of Terminator John Connor.
Exactly. Yeah. Terminator John Connor is what just... I can't see this anymore.
How does she know that's her son?
That's another thing.
She doesn't know what her son's going to look like when he's grown up.
I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that's explained, but no.
We'll get to my opinion.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah, when I saw that part of this trailer, I was done. I was like, sorry. I wanted to believe this could be a good restart, but even with Arnold, and I had reservations about Arnold coming back to this thing, but I still wanted to give it the benefit of the doubt. You know, I think that the CGI Arnold that they make, the younger version, actually looks amazingly good in this film when they're going to have the older and younger.
And they've definitely tried to do that before. To no avail.
To no avail.
And it works a lot better in this one. At least it looks like that.
So I will give it credit for that. And even some of the actors, I like the young Sarah Connor that they got. You know, I think she looks good, and what I've seen of her, I think I like her in this movie. Unfortunately, just the Terminator John Connor, if that really is him, and it seems like it really is going to be, based on what the trailer tells us, but you never know.
Yeah.
I just can't go there with it. I can't. And because to me it betrays the basic premise of this entire franchise. Like, you're going too far with trying to change what this is all about. Sorry, can't go there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, is there anything else I want to say on this? Yeah, that's about it. So yeah, excitement level. Let me see. I'll give it one more trailer to completely kill me off on the interest on this, but I'll give it a 3 at this point.
Wow.
I want to believe, but if they give me one more trailer and actually shed some doubt on it actually really being John Connor, and they're just playing mind games, I might give it a chance. It might get me just to go to see it, but, you know, so that's why I give it a 3 for now. You guys can go.
Well, I mean, I'm in your boat to a point anyway. When I saw the first trailer, the kind of teaser, sort of, because there wasn't a lot of story revealed into it, but you know, it's like initially it starts off as just, oh god, are they really just straight up like doing a remake of Terminator? Because seriously.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, then they threw some little twists and turns in there where, like, okay, there's a liquid metal Terminator already in the past. That's weird. Like, okay, this might be kind of cool, because obviously it seems like Sarah Connor already knows what's going to happen, and there's already a Terminator there with her who looks like he's been there like since her childhood or something like that. So it's like, okay, this might be kind of cool. And I was like, I might be on board with this. But yeah, then the second trailer rolls around and it's like, you know, it just makes no sense. And it's like, well, how much more technological are they going to get with these Terminators? You know, liquid metal, and then you could, whatever. I didn't even watch Rise of the Machines.
And to keep in mind, they're throwing so much at you to try to believe in this first film of a planned trilogy that, I mean, it's insane.
It's a planned trilogy.
Yeah, that from the beginning. They have planned this as a trilogy.
Hey, Arnold's gonna be like 90, but like you said, it could be interesting. It still could be, but even if you like the plot points that they gave away, which I'm okay with it, like I said, it might be kind of interesting. I hate trailers that give away everything. Mm-hmm. Like, I literally have no reason to go see that movie now because I know everything that's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Like, even whether I like what's happening in the trailer or not, I know it all, and I don't need to see it anymore. Yeah. It's like, I'm going to go to that movie and be totally not surprised by anything that happens.
And why in the trailer you'd reveal such a major twist?
That's huge.
That's earth-shattering. Yeah. Why would you do that? Like, it's like, it would be like if they did a Star Wars trailer for Empire Strikes Back and revealed the part where Luke reveals it,
exactly,
or Vader reveals to Luke he's his father.
Well, you know, and I can't remember for like Terminator 2, did they actually reveal in the trailers that Arnold was gonna be the good guy?
They actually did.
Did they at some point? I mean, that was so long ago, I don't remember. But
there was one trailer where they were kind of ambiguous, but then the next one they straight up ruined that.
See, and that's stupid too. That was an amazing movie.
That was the best thing about that movie was you didn't know.
Yeah, and this is going to be the same. You just know too much.
Yes.
Period. So absolutely. I had it at a 7 out of 10, but thinking about it more, it's probably more like a 5. Yeah. And I probably will see it. I don't know if I'll see it in theaters, but...
And the original trailer really, it had me at a 7. Yeah, I was about at a 7, 7.5 originally.
Yeah, maybe we'll review it in the future, but...
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna run a risk of being a complete hypocrite, because clearly this movie franchise is going off the rails.
Yeah.
And it looks insane.
It's been going off the rails for a while.
So... with my previous statements, you'd think that means I'm all for it, you'd think, right? But here's the difference between this and, let's say, Jurassic World or Mad Max. Mad Max and Jurassic World, they look like fun. This one, it does not look like a whole lot of fun. I mean, if you're going to go off the rails, go completely insane, like this movie is, at least make the movie look fun. And this one does not look fun at all. It just looks kind of pointless, really. Yeah. I don't see why it's needed. It's just going to further convolute the Terminator plotline, which we definitely do not need. You need a flow chart at this point to figure out why any of this is happening. Mm-hmm. So, really, my excitement for this, even after the first trailer, I wasn't exactly hyped for it. So, 3?
3?
Yeah, let's go with a 3.
Alright. I mean, I'm just, on top of everything else from this movie, I hate Jai Courtney, or however you say his name. The guy who plays, not John Connor, but the guy who gets sent back to...
Reese.
Yeah. Kyle Reese.
Okay.
He's a terrible actor. I don't know how he keeps getting work. If you've ever seen Die Hard, whatever the latest Die Hard was, I can't even remember the name of it.
Live for Your Die Hard?
Was Live for Your Die Hard, I think? Not Die Hard 4. Die Hard
Good Day to Die Hard?
That might have been it.
It was a Good Day to Die Hard, I think.
Because Die Hard 4 had Justin Long in it, I think, and that's not what I'm thinking of. It's the next one. Yeah, Jai Courtney,
who knows,
is a terrible, terrible actor. And I wanted to kill myself after I saw that Die Hard movie. So, on top of all that, he doesn't make me want to see that either.
He's no Michael Biehn. Take that however you will, Internet.
I would rather see Michael Biehn in that role again as like a 60-year-old.
That would actually be pretty awesome. I might be on board for.
He probably shows up at some point. The guy doesn't get a lot of work anymore.
Hey, Grandpa, go back and protect my mom.
Okay, John Connor. Why are you made of robot parts? Anyway,
don't make me kill you, and get off my lawn.
When is that coming out, James?
That's coming out July 1st, so you can celebrate your independence, but go seeing that crappy Terminator
I'll be completely independent from that franchise that week.
Oh! Zing. Alright, anyway. So, the next film, which is coming out on July 17th, is Ant-Man. I'm on the fence about this movie. I could go either way. I have concerns, but at the same time, there is some good stuff in here. It really feels like it could be a mixed bag, and it might be the very first Marvel Studios movie that I'm truly disappointed with. But I don't know. It could turn out to be really good. I don't know where this movie is going, and I think that's probably the worst part of these trailers, is that I just don't know if the movie knows what it is.
The tone is not exactly clear.
Yeah, and that worries me for the quality of this film. So part of this is that, to me, and you guys tell me if you feel different, but to me this actually feels, these trailers actually feel like this is a comic book movie from the early 2000s. Like from the Daredevil era-ish. Like just the feel of it. You know what I mean?
He's not brooding enough, but close.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just the general feel of those ones where they didn't quite get the comic book characters and what they really were at that point, and so they were just off. I don't know. Some of it just feels like that. Although there is some good humor in this trailer that I actually like. I think the biggest laugh we saw in the theater, and I agree, is the Thomas the Tank Engine scene where he gets hit, and they just cut to the train just kind of crashing over a lane.
That was kind of fun.
I thought that was pretty funny. And the fact that it apparently has that kind of sense of humor about itself bodes well for me, because I can't take Ant-Man seriously.
No one can.
I don't think you can. And I actually had that written down. I was like, I don't know if I can get behind a tiny superhero. Like, it just seems
he can get really bizarre. Small. That's what the Avengers need. Someone who can get really tiny. That's how they're going to take down Thanos.
And he's going to get inside the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
Yeah, you see it.
No, it'll turn into like Mortal Kombat style, like brutality. Like he'll crawl into Thanos' ear and start ripping apart his brain.
Oh God!
And and that's how he'll kill him.
Let's not get too graphic here.
It'll be just horrible. It'll be great.
I'll do it for what?
Fatality.
oh, Ant-Man.
Ant-Man saves the day.
What's your
so now that I put that thought in your head, let me just take a couple of things before I give my excitement level. The one last thing I want to say, though, and this is the part that concerns me, is that the motivation for the bad guy in this movie seems pretty terrible. You stole this suit, and now it actually says this in the trailer. You stole this suit from me, so now I'm going to kill you and your entire family. Now I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he says. A little bit of an overreaction, maybe.
It's a pretty nice suit, though.
Well, doesn't he have a suit himself?
Yeah, so apparently he does. So to me it seems like a little hard for me to believe the bad guy's motivation for being a bad guy. I don't know. Maybe the movie will sell it better.
There might be some more explanation of what's actually going to happen.
Just that line in the trailer and the way it's said, it's like, wow, you're actually wanting me to buy that as your motivation, not just at face value. No, I'm not. So as far as excitement goes, I think I'm just gonna have to give this a solid 5.5. I'll tip it towards past the halfway point.
Yeah.
Again, it just depends on it, because there's gonna be probably at least one more trailer.
At least, they only wrapped filming less than 2 months ago, so you'd think there'd be more.
Yeah. So I'll give it one more trailer before I, give form a solid opinion. But that's where I'm kind of at right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of there too. I'm at about a 6 of wanting to see this movie. Other than what I've already said about the tiny superhero thing, I'm not sure about Paul Rudd.
Me too. Actually,
I could have said the same thing about Chris Pratt, but that was perfect.
Yeah,
I don't know enough about Ant-Man to say whether or not that's Paul Rudd's a good choice. I just don't know. Like, I don't know. And I won't know until I see the movie. I think because of him, or with him, there will be some good humor, I'm hoping anyway. Because but I don't think that, I don't know if he can really play the serious parts of that role, if there are any. Which I'm assuming there will be at least some.
Yeah.
Not that he's a bad actor, I think he's a good actor, but I just think he's kind of a goofball, and he just does better in that kind of role. I don't know. But, yeah, I'm at about a 6. So.
Yeah. Me, I'm such a big comic book fan. Well, not of Ant-Man, obviously, but I love comic books. So, even I am like, really, Ant-Man? So,
yeah.
I would be really a lot more on board with this if the original director, Edgar Wright, had stayed aboard, and because, he's a good director. I would have loved to see his take on it, but the ever so enigmatic creative differences had him going his own way. I mean, part of me wonders if they're going to try to make this a satire or something on the superhero genre, because that's the only way I can see this really working.
Yeah.
I mean, with a villain who has such a terrible, plot, and that the ability to shrink, he seems to think is some kind of ultimate weapon. It's just like, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And,
well,
I mean, but, Evangeline Lilly looks, as best as she can be, considering it's Evangeline Lilly, so
yeah,
might have some fun there. She might become the Wasp, so, kind of have to evaluate her some, too, with this movie.
Well, and to be perfectly, transparent in my biases, even watching this trailer, I knew about this Ant-Man, that Marvel wanted to make Ant-Man a film right after the first Iron Man movie. They were talking about it that early, that's what their plans were. And from that very day, I was like, why?
Yeah.
He seems like one of the worst characters. And he's not even that popular of a comic book character. I mean, he's C tier, and he's not even B tier. He
wasn't the original Avengers lineup, it should be said.
Yeah.
Just to be somewhat fair to Ant-Man.
But it just seems like such an odd choice for multiple reasons. Not only because he's a C-tier villain, or hero, but just that he shrinks down to such a small size. It's just like, will movie audiences buy him as a legitimate villain?
Yeah, that's kind of
not like he's a hero.
Apparently James really wants him to be a villain.
Apparently I do.
Maybe that would be a better movie. I don't know.
But will they buy him as a hero? And I don't know.
The fact that Marvel's putting this into production before the Captain Marvel movie, which everybody who's a comic book fan has been wanting for years. I'm not going to get into that character because that's a totally different discussion. That is saying a lot, though, that they think Ant-Man's a bigger priority than a character that their fan base has wanted for a long time.
I don't know. I think every studio eventually makes a bad film, and this could be Marvel's first big misstep.
Yeah. I mean, the big wild card is how much Michael Douglas is going to be in this movie. I mean, he is the original Ant-Man, for whatever that means to people out there. I mean, he could be a welcome presence. But, my excitement, 5, maybe.
5, yeah.
If I'm feeling generous today, I'm giving it a 5.
Yeah, so we're all kind of just ho-hum about it.
We're about the same.
Yeah.
Mid-range.
Hey, we agree on something.
Spotlights coming down overhead. Yeah, that'd be... There we go.
Mood lighting.
Mm-hmm. And now's the part of the vidcast where we all make out.
Ah!
Hey, 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 hey.